Okay, so it's been a while. Um, yeah, it's been a while. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this today because my day. Here's the thing. You know, I recorded a video that I intended to post several weeks ago and never did because I was just tired. I'm tired and I'm still tired. But I made a goal to myself that I would do this because deep in my mind, I know it's going to help. And hopefully, like I said way back at day one, someone else would find this helpful. I've been tired because this year, aside from finishing up school, building a software company from scratch, which we're close to actually launching a product, which means it's going to get more busy, not less, and trying to find what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and taking on this newsletter, which has been kind of my escape to sanity in all this. On top of like all of that, this year I did some quick math and I think I've applied to 300 jobs now that I'm getting ready to graduate. I didn't think that was a lot. But the other day I was talking with a kid who was just entering school, like he's just getting started in the accounting program, and he had asked me about specifically scholarships, and I'm highlighting this because I've done this my entire life. When I was a sophomore and junior in college, I applied to maybe 200 scholarships. It might be 150, but it's probably like 200, and I didn't hear back from a single one. And my job hunt's been the same. It's been like 300. I applied to like who knows how many internships prior to that. I've gotten back a couple of semi-yeses from basically CFP fund, like CFP and financial advisement funds, which most of those end up, for people who don't know, for a lot of those, the first thing they try to sell you is life insurance because it's an annuity. And I don't hate life insurance. I've considered kind of writing up my thoughts on that. But that is what they try to do. And it isn't until you get like the top 3 or 4% of people at those companies that actually can help you with retirement and investment advice. And they're the ones making the money, but it's all everyone underneath who gets hired on to sell insurance, and it burns people out. Many of those yeses have been Transamerica under a different name. Nothing against Transamerica. I'm sure they are a great company. But most of the people I ended up talking to will try to pitch some magical financial educational experience that they're trying to sell. And when you do the due diligence and you look at where their office is located, you look at their LinkedIn, you look at what they're trying to sell, you realize very quickly it's a front for Transamerica. I've had 2 interviews that were not that. One of them was with Morgan Stanley. I turned them down because I could not see myself doing that job for 6 years. The job that they had offered. And I do regret that, actually turning them down. You know, there was one company that was a CFP company that I regret turning down because it's Northwestern Mutual. They sell IP protected products, which means that they actually have an edge in the market. And I turned them down for similar reasons to the other CFP funds. I didn't want to be pitching insurance to all my friends. And by the way, if you are in that position where you're looking to get into that world, which not saying it's a bad thing, we're going to need a lot more of them moving forward, especially as we get into the great transfer of wealth that's coming. It's starting to come now, but it's going to hit us really hard in the next decade. We're going to need a lot more people like that. But even then, most of the time, what they'll try to tell you is, oh, well, you're responsible for sourcing your own leads because this is a business and you're trying to build a business. And what it translates to in plain English is you're going to spend a lot of time pitching life insurance to family members and friends. If you have a product you believe in and actually is going to help them, it's a different story, but 9 times out of 10, it's not. And the only other, I'm getting sidetracked because I'm really tired. The only other interview that I had that wasn't that, I just turned down because after talking with the CEO, the COO, reading through the information they gave me, even though it's something that I really genuinely think is going to change the world, I knew in my gut it was the wrong move. So I'm tired, I'm frustrated. And it's been the bare, like, it's required so much of my willpower and energy to do the bare minimum of just 2 articles a week. And, you know, after the last video I recorded, the last video journal, I was so exhausted. And so it's just been hard. I felt like I needed to record this because I know there's someone out there who was probably as frustrated as me. And I'm not saying that like, oh, pity me, please don't. Like, I hope deep down that everyone who watches this gets a job that they enjoy, that pays their bills. That's my dream. Based on what I've seen in market data, I don't know if that's true. And I don't know if that's true because of a lot of stuff that I don't have time to get into here because I'm trying to keep these very short and candid. But I don't know if that's the case. It's not the case for me. It wasn't the case for people I know very deeply and love dearly for several months before they could find a job. And anyway, I don't even know where I was trying to go with this. The point is, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's been a while because I've just been tired and I've been trying so hard to make my life move forward. Largely to no avail. It hasn't all been bad. A lot of it's been good. You know, the newsletter has some odd, I don't know, 100 subscribers across LinkedIn and Substack. And the majority of people who read it, it's been very positive. You know, I did a piece on tariffs and got absolutely chewed out for it because I ignored the danger of tariffs. And frankly, that article had nothing to do with me trying to make an argument that tariffs were a good thing. I think they were fundamentally a bad thing. Everything I know about economics tells me that tariffs are not a good idea. And all I was trying to highlight was, after doing my research on it, I realized from some very trusted sources, Fidelity and others, that it's not all bad because it's not all black and white and everything's not equal. Anyway, so that's been good, but it's been hard to deal with the overwhelming exhaustion of just being alive at the moment. And maybe some of you feel that way, and if so, I'm sorry, because it's no fun. But I wanted to highlight I guess, kind of a silver lining in all of this. Even though earlier today when I was screaming into a pillow, I didn't necessarily feel that way. And that is with this last job that I turned down. It wouldn't have been hard. I could have done it. As you could probably hear from the comments about the lighting is awful. The sun is going down and it's the middle of winter. But as you could probably tell, or hopefully tell from not only this work that I've done, people who've read the Substack, or listened to just this video about how many jobs I've applied for, I'm a very high intensity person, and I thrive under a lot of intensity. This job seemed to be handy. It seemed to be a job on a silver platter for me, but it just felt wrong, and it felt conflicted, and I was up late last night thinking about it because I was conflicted about it. You know, they were just handing me this job offer. They're like, we want you, you're the first one that we talked to that we love it. Like, we love how you think, we love what you do. We want to bring you on. You know, you'll be well compensated for it. It sounded almost too good to be true. And I was really suspicious about it. And maybe that's part of what I was conflicted about, I don't know. But while I was conflicted, it's midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I was reminded of something that my wife said and something that a friend of mine had said, and that's what I want to share here. Is I heard my wife's voice ask me if I was excited about it. And then I heard one of my friends' voice say, could you see yourself doing this for 6 years? And both of those came up as no. Nothing against the company, nothing against the founders. If they are going to do what they say they're going to do, they are going to change the world. And I was actually super excited about, yesterday, 2 days ago, I was excited about coming on here announcing the partnership with this company and what it was going to do and why it matters. And I still might write a piece up on it. But it wasn't the road for me. And after I sent the message to the CEO turning down this opportunity, I felt at peace and I could sleep. As weird as it sounds, despite my frustration, and not out of a lack of effort, to break into the investment and the crypto and the financial analytical space, which I've been trying desperately to do. I mean, I've been studying finance now in depth. It absorbs all my time. It's really my only hobby. I've been doing that now for 3 years straight, with a few breaks for vacations, but mostly it's been that. I knew it was the right decision, and so I just wanted to close this out by saying, for me, I trusted my gut, and I was rewarded for that with a sense of peace and a sense of I made the right call. And that meant a lot to me because I often don't know if I make the right call. So it was nice to have that kind of feeling to know that, okay, this was the right choice. If you find yourself in a similar position, it might be worthwhile to think that over as well and trust your gut. There's a quote that I love. I don't know who said it. I would tell you if I remembered who it was, but it's, your first intuition is never wrong. Now, I don't know how true that is in every single sense, but in my life, it's been very, very true a lot of times. I mean, thinking back, when I heard about the Elon Musk Twitter, and I'm going to use finance and investment as an example or economics as an example as well, because that's what I do. It's like that in marketing. You know, I've been doing that and social media marketing for 5 years, is basically what I've done. So that's kind of my weird little wheelhouse, but that's also where I've seen this the most often. But for example, when I made the decision I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my college career. I'd hit kind of a bump in the road and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. My first intuition was to take an accounting class, and it served me very well. When I heard about the Twitter Elon Musk partnership back when Twitter was really sinking in the stock market, like it had crashed hard that year, my first intuition was to buy this because the deal's going to go through and it's going to be more valuable. And I doubled my money there. You know, maybe it wasn't double, maybe it was 80% or something like that, but it was a big deal. And I had a similar thing happen to me in crypto where I bet on the fact that if Bitcoin's going to go up, so does everything else, and I doubled my money. You know, I have had a couple of experiences like that, but even with those, I'm always second guessing myself and second guessing my first intuition. Because in the back of my head, the odds seem wrong. When I hear someone say, trust your gut, your first intuition is never wrong, I think of all the variables of why that is not true. But at the end of the day, it seems to hold out for me. And so maybe it holds out for you as well. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for your patience. If you watch these religiously, which I don't know if anyone does, but if you do, thank you so much. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate you sticking with me as we work through this. I hope to have some good news or something here in the next couple weeks. I've got a couple things in the works that I'm excited about. And when and if they do happen, I will announce them. But please let me know if there are other things that you are struggling with and you would like some advice on, or just want to talk it out. You know, that's what helped me today, was just being able to vent my frustrations. And anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to stop and I'm going to go shower and then pass out probably. Have a good week.